This is the Rolex Submariner 114060, and to me, it's one of those rare watches that gets close to perfect in so many ways. Stainless steel on the bracelet and the case, a black dial that's somehow both low-key and instantly recognizable, and a ceramic bezel that just seems to catch the light at exactly the right angle. This is really an icon in watchmaking, but let me share my personal take after years of owning one. I first saw the 114060 back in 2014 while traveling. At the time, I had plenty of doubts, honestly. I asked myself whether it was smart to go for a no-date Submariner when the Hulk and the Batman, GMT, were just becoming popular. But what always drew me back was the symmetry of the dial. With no date window and no magnifier, or cyclops, that's the little bubble that appears over the date on some models. You get a super clean, balanced look that, in my opinion, puts it in a different league from a design standpoint. I'm a bit particular about symmetry, so this just hit home for me. The case is 40 millimeters wide, so if you're new to watches, that's a size that works on a ton of wrist sizes, including mine, and my wrist isn't massive. The watch itself feels really solid, but never heavy or awkward, even if I wear it all day. One of the key features that really impressed me is the bracelet. It's made from what Rolex calls Oystersteel, their proprietary stainless steel mix, and has solid links, so you don't get that rattling or loose-feeling bracelet you sometimes hear about with older watches. More importantly for daily wear, the clasp comes with something called the glide lock system, which is just a quick way to adjust the length of the bracelet without needing any tools. That alone makes this a super comfortable daily watch, especially if your wrist changes size throughout the day because of heat or activity. From my experience, durability is a big selling point. I've worn my Submariner to work, out on weekends, in the pool, and even slept with it by accident. The ceramic bezel, or Cerachrome as Rolex calls it, is tough stuff. Unlike the aluminum bezels on vintage pieces, this one doesn't scratch easily, and still looks new after all this time. Sure, some people say it's shinier than the old style, but I think it's a gentle shine, not in your face. The actual bezel turns with a solid, satisfying click, and the numbers on it don't wear off. If you're not familiar, the primary use for this bezel is for tracking elapsed time, originally for diving, so you could tell how long you'd been underwater. But honestly, it's great for everything from timing coffee to monitoring your parking meter. The sapphire crystal on this model is extremely resistant to scratches. In my years of use, the only real issue was a tiny mark on the little luminous pip at the top of the bezel, and that was only because I smacked it against a wall. Even then, you'd have to look super close to notice. For people worried about wear and tear, I'd say the sides of the case have a few scratches from ordinary bumps, but nothing a quick polish wouldn't fix. A brushing on the bracelet hides a lot too. Movement, or what's inside the watch making it tick, is another place this model really shines. The Submariner 114060 uses the Rolex caliber 3130, which means it's an entirely mechanical automatic movement built by Rolex, not battery-powered. For someone new to watches, automatic means it winds itself as you move your wrist. The movement in here is considered extremely reliable and accurate, and it uses what Rolex calls a parachrom hairspring. This is a little piece inside the movement that helps the watch keep time really well, even if it gets knocked around or exposed to magnets, which are everywhere these days. Think phones, speakers, and so on. Power reserve clocks in at about 48 hours, so if I take it on for a couple of days, I do need to wind it, but that's never been a real problem for my lifestyle. One thing I was curious about before buying is whether the 40mm case and maxi dial, that's just a dial with slightly bigger hands and hour markers, would be too bold or blocky for me. Some people say the proportion of the lugs, those are the parts that connect to the bracelet, are chunkier than older versions, and I get that. But after wearing it for years, I appreciate the security it adds. The watch sits flat and smuggly, and it even disappears under my shirt cuff if I'm dressing up. I've had people ask if I get nervous wearing this out, and that's a fair point. The Submariner is definitely known, and unfortunately, is a target for theft in some places. I take some basic precautions, but I don't let it stop me from wearing what I love. Availability is worth mentioning though. When I got mine, it was easier. Now you see less of these in retail stores, unless you have a good relationship with a Rolex dealer or get lucky on the timing. Functionally, the Submariner was designed as a tool watch for divers with 300 meters or 1,000 feet of water resistance. Even if I only use it for swimming or hot tubs these days, I love knowing it's tough enough for way more. I never have to baby it. It's perfect for anyone who wants a watch that just works anywhere, from the office to the outdoors. From my experience, the Submariner 11460 has been so easy to wear with just about anything. The black and silver color scheme goes with almost any outfit, casual, business, even dress clothes. Some might view the lack of a date function as a downside, but I actually prefer it. Fewer moving parts means less to go wrong and a cleaner look. If you're new to the hobby, having no date means you never have to worry about adjusting the calendar or dealing with a stuck date wheel. I'd recommend this for anyone looking for a truly do-anything luxury watch. It's just as much at home on a hike as it is at a formal dinner. If you're someone who wants flexibility, durability, and classic design, the Submariner really delivers.